Alright, here we go. So, what did this mean? Well, we have Electabuzz back, because it has both Surf and Rock Climb. We need both of those here, as you can tell from the entrance, where both are visible. That meant Rhyperior had to go, because Typhlosion's been too important to the whole run, and because Dialga has Waterfall. I don't think we need Whirlpool, but it has that as well. So I actually thought about taking Dialga out and keeping Rhyperior and Typhlosion that way, but it didn't work out that way. Also, there's a very good chance we get our ass kicked here. So rather than fast forwarding, we're going to go through here. We're just going to take a pretty direct approach. We're not going to worry too much about items and whatnot. And we're going to take an encounter in the first 2 steps because Pokemon. Lovely Cyndaquil. You know what, we can fast forward some of this stuff. We are going to take whatever experience we can get, though. Every little level is going to count here. I don't remember exactly where Red's team is at, but I'm pretty confident that some, if not all, of his Pokemon's levels start with the number 8. And, of course, our 2 highest are 70-something. 70 exactly? A nugget, great. So, yeah. We also have one more detour to make on the way, and that's the main reason why I'm not just fast-forwarding to the end of Mount Silver. Because the location of a legendary or 2 has changed. And in this case, even though we have seen multiple Moltres throughout this playthrough, we need to go see what is supposed to be Moltres. It could even be a Moltres! But we're in here for the long haul. We're in here until we finish. So we got this, and we got the climb. And again, there are assorted items through here, both visible and invisible. We're not going to worry about them. We're just here for business. There's an outside chance that this legendary could influence our fate yet, depending on what it is, and if we can catch it, which of course is always a difficulty here. What moveset it has, what type it is. We could use all these things to our advantage, but it's only going to be level 50, which is going to be a bit of a concern. Because again, Red's team is going to be, I'm pretty sure, low 80s. So that's going to be bad. The good thing here is Electabuzz is level 50 anyways, so if we happen to find something that could learn Surf and Rock Climb, redistribute those moves, or whatever, we wouldn't really be losing on anything. Wouldn't really be winning either, but that's not the point. So you roll up here, and this easy. There's a Moltres. Much more simple than the alternatives that we've seen. The Whirl Islands were a pain in the ass. The Seafoam Islands are a pain in the ass. That's why we didn't even go look for Articuno. Whatever that would have been. This one, other than the fact that you have to, have beaten all 16 gyms to get here, easy. Couple of waterfalls, couple of rock climbs, and you're in. So let's slide on down and check out Moltres. Probably my favorite of the 3 birds, but not the most practical with its 4x rock weakness. Zapdos is actually the case of a rare legendary that I've used at some point. Because it only has ice and rock weaknesses. Huey trying to interrupt. Okay, we got regular music. Regice. Interesting. We're going to be careful not to get our ass kicked too bad by this. I also am very tempted to Flash Cannon, but I'm worried it's going to kill. Regice is somewhat tanky. I'm sure it's not too bad. It's neutral since we were Dragon half, but... also an interesting move for it to know. I should have Flash Cannoned. It would have lived. Now I can't. We also no longer have any status effect moves. We haven't had Venusaur for a little bit now, so we have no Spore. Boy, another one's going to be real close, isn't it? That went kind of high in the damage range, and now I don't think a Waterfall kills, but boy. Yeah. I want to get lower than this. I wonder how bad an Ember would be. It's super effective. The only safe play is this. Well, I guess this is what it is now. I cannot escape. Drain Punch is probably too risky. Thunderbolt might also be too risky, although I don't know if Thunderbolt will kill, so we have to go to Surf. Yeah, Thunderbolt I don't think would have killed. Now with that damage level, Thunderbolt now is not going to kill, but look at the problem we have. Look at the problem we've locked ourselves into without really knowing. Alright, well, we gotta go straight to the business, because Regice might not survive another attack. We can't switch, because mean look. Ice Punch is a good move. But, yeah. Well, maybe the experience from that will be the key. We're not going to worry about loading or trying that again. Although Ice Punch is a great move for a Regice to have. The other two were, Priority is nice. So Ice Shard's not terrible. Mean Look, I mean, would be great for catching Pokemon. We're kind of past that point now. Alright, so all that was for nothing. Now we gotta go the long way around. In fact, it would almost be faster for me to escape rope, but we'll keep that for later. I think I only have one. I think I found it when I was tooling around the Whirl Islands. I also used a couple while I was going after those legendaries in that episode where we cut in between. So I think I had two, used two, found one. We're also not going to keep Dialga in front forever. We want to keep everybody hit with a decent amount of moves. We don't have a way to heal PP. We have ways to do everything else, but not that. At some point, I don't know what that point's going to be. We're going to have to put a Max Repel on, too, just to make this go a little quicker. Hey! What is the starter Pokemon doing in the wild? Bye-bye. Chucky, no! Chucky. I wouldn't care so much about a Max Repel if the encounter rate weren't so high. There's also this added difficulty of I'm not entirely sure where I'm going. I have a pretty good idea. But I don't want to wander around without a repel for too long and then be taking 64,000 encounters. Because I'll cry. I can't do it anymore. We could duck outside and heal real quick, but to be honest, it's really not that necessary. We've only used a handful of moves. Only a little bit of damage. Might as well just keep on rolling out. Since it's not too far the way, we're going to check this rock to see if it has an item. Look at that fat Starly. Well, we can throw that at Regice's corpse. Yeah. If you're going to put an item this close, I have to take you up on it. I have to. Let's see. So, we got a tree there. Can't go up. Tree's here. I think we're looking to get into that cave. There's 2 out here. Item over there that is much more out of the way. I guess this. I don't know. God, it doesn't even do any damage. I guess steel will be neutral, so we're better off with that. Okay. Better experience, though, so I can't complain about that. Also, about reached the point where I'm ready to switch, so let's put Rayquaza out in front for a while, because it's funny, first of all, and because you could use a couple levels. I don't really think I want to go down for that item. Who knows what it'll be, but it's unlikely to be that good. Now, I don't think this is the correct way, but we're right here anyway, so we might as well duck in. There's an item up there. Tell you what we'll do. No, you know what? We're going to go ahead and fight a little bit more for the time being. We don't mind. Okay. That's a good one to have. We're going to lay it all out when we get to the top of this. We're not going to hold any items back. We'll save first in case it goes disastrously wrong so we don't burn all our items in a losing effort, but anything we're holding on to, there's no reason to hold on to. This is the final objective of the playthrough. And there's still a handful more things that we could do, but to me, this is the arbiter. This is what decides whether you win or lose. This is actually ugly. Let's hope that its special defense sucks enough that a Dragon Pulse will kill. We have no super effective moves here. That's okay, it's just Fury Cutter. Not a big deal. Luckily it's a wild Pokemon, so we don't have to worry about being targeted with rock-type stuff, but still, you never know. What if it has Stone Edge and it kills my Rayquaza? It's bad for momentum, man. Alright, we go all the way around, we get back to the first floor. We have to go over these stairs up here. We kind of saw them as we went up the waterfall. Alright, this is a big old circular type room. We can kind of circumnavigate some of this stuff, but unfortunately, like, even though we don't want that item, we still have to go all the way around here. To the point where it's pretty much on the way just to get the item. Castleys are cool. I didn't actually use them in Red Blue, but I did in Gold Silver, the first time I played. You know, the original game, not this remake stuff. You could catch them pretty early. They were pretty solid, even though their moveset wasn't great. Rose Incense? Is that one of those ones that lowers accuracy? I'm taking a look only because Electabuzz has no item. No grass-type moves. Oh, okay. Tell you what we'll actually do. Focus Sash is silly, but you know what? It might be worth it. Yeah, I think we're actually going to do that. We're going to give this Focus Sash to Electabuzz because he's probably going to die in one hit. So that might buy us an extra turn to do something cool later. We'll see. You know, I honestly don't remember Charon making that noise. Alright. The long journey continues. This room doesn't seem that big, but because we have to keep going around these ridges, it's going to take forever. It's the worst. Alright, so we couldn't one-shot a Golem. Can we one-shot a Graveler? We should be able to, right? Almost my pretty Rayquaza. Look at him just sliding along the ground. He's flying, presumably, but he's so close to the ground that I don't know if that's true. Okay, Rayquaza, fast-forwarding for the benefit of viewers. It's already going to be probably a 30 to 40 minute part, so I don't want to go too nuts. Ooh, 5 defense. I like that. May not seem like much, but you never know. This is the reason I'm carrying all these legendaries, because their stats are ultimately going to be sort of like a level 70 regular evolved Pokemon stats. So hopefully that's enough to get us through, but we are still going to be in some trouble if we run into some bad matchups. The only other hope I have, and the reason I think this is doable, is because we don't know what Ash is going to have. And by Ash, I mean Red, and I'm sorry I made that mistake. Considering that the most popular article on our site is the whole Ash Ketchum's the worst trainer of all time, you think I, of all people, would know better than to make that mistake. We'll have to see what the randomizer does to Red. It kind of messed up Lance. He had a couple real strong Pokemon, but not everything on his team was good. Those Grapplers. Can't complain though, it's a pretty easy experience. I am a little concerned about Dragon Pulse, so we'll probably switch out after this. At least till we get out of this area so we stop seeing so many rock types, because we have no other answer for them. We can actually get away with Typhlosion here because Giga Drain will be super good. Let's get this item. Yes, keep the Grapplers coming, something I wouldn't normally say with a Typhlosion out. There's another item on this floor that we can't get to, because we don't have Rock Smash. Rhyperior had that, and I'm not teaching it to anybody else. I didn't really want to teach it to Rhyperior. So this is more like what we want to see, some good experience. We don't want to see the little first level evolutions that don't give us any experience. That's just a waste of time. Alright, out here in this mess. There's about 18 more entrances here. This is just going to go back into that last room. I think there's an item here, right? Yes. Sure, it's right down here. That does kind of seem like a sign, doesn't it? But no. Alrighty. So we head this way. Oh. Well, I guess it's kind of funny not to have put the Max Repel on, because here's a Ho-Oh. We've already caught one of these. We can't really use this one. It's level 30. We have Surf, but I don't want to put Electabuzz in on a switch. What am I forgetting here? Groudon's got Avalanche, which is neutral. Mewtwo has Ice, which is neutral. Electabuzz has Lightning, which is also super effective, but again, I don't want to switch. Alright, Electabuzz, you got a level advantage. Take a hit. Spit up. Good. We can take that on a switch. I can take one of those. Kind of anticlimactic just to have the music fade out and not even bother to catch it, but, you know, what are you going to do? Here we're ducking inside only to get to another exit. I don't even know what the hell a Whismur is. Just putting it out there. I assume this is going to do neutral damage. Great. I think it's a normal type. I think it's what eventually evolves into Loudmur and then Exploud. That's my guess. I don't know. No, we do not want Fire Spin. That, of course, is another difficulty with trying to carry these legendaries. They don't get very many moves. And because all the moves are randomized, the moves aren't likely to be very good. Let's see. We go in here. And we can come back out over there. What does over here do? Yes, I have a map open because I didn't want to spend too much time on this place. Looks like both these ways just end up going to where we need to go. One of these is sort of towards an item. Let's go up here. We'll cut across. That cave is just another exit if we go inside the one we just passed. But I think we can get to everywhere we need to from here. I could be wrong. These trees might block the way the whole way, huh? Yeah, they do. Well, now that we're up here... Okay. Use it right away. I also want to look through here real quick. Rose incense. We're not going to have a use for. We don't have a grass type anymore. And I don't want to get that to Typhlosion. Choice Scarf is an intriguing option that I do have to consider. Alright, we have a Zinc. I don't know who needs special defense. It's good for anybody, really. Mewtwo. And an attack. I'm tempted to go Groudon. Rayquaza's intriguing, but kind of has better special defense. Groudon's really the only primary physical attacker we have. We have some people who dabble in it, who have decent attack stats, but nobody who's primarily about that life. You know, there's probably something up here. It's right here. I'm going to look. We are actually most of the way done here. Well, can't win them all, I guess. Once we traverse this last part, going into the cave and out one more time, we're just about done. Damn. Almost. So I don't think Ashellos is water ground yet. I think it's just water. Doesn't matter. Giga Drain's the go-to. I think it's only water ground when it evolves. I think I used one of these briefly when I was going through Diamond and Pearl. Or Platinum, whichever. Had it on my team for a little bit because I needed a water type to surf. Alright, impassable trees, I'm going around you. Oh, an item, oh no. Do-do-do-do-do-do. That path might go to an item, but I don't know if I care. That does go to an item. Don't know that I care. Picked up a few items on the way that I already hadn't planned, so we're fine. Up, up. This is the path we want. The chosen path. The path of kings. Here, I think we have 2 linear paths and we're done. Oh, Jirachi. I don't know if we've had a chance to catch this, have we? We've seen it. I don't know if we've seen one that we could catch. We aren't going to try because it's level 15. But it's neat. Alright, are you guys ready? Probably one more encounter. Level 50 Meganium. Huh. Definitely a Pokemon I used the first time I played this. I started with Chikorita. Well, I'm impressed. Annoyed, but impressed. Has to recharge, doesn't matter, killed anyways. So sad. Wee. I don't think there's anything to the sides. No. Damn. That's what I get. A Sneasel. I wonder if this will be enough experience to level. Then it'll all have been worthwhile. What's that? No? Oh. Well. So we step outside. All we have is silence. And snow and footprints in the snow. And wind. I have to be careful, because again, I don't know if you get locked into an animation here. I think you have to actually go all the way and approach, but alright, so this is where I have to make a decision. I haven't really thought it through prior to now. I guess while I'm vamping, we can heal up real quick. Top off everybody and make sure we're good. What we're going to do is we're going to heal first. Then we're going to look to use stuff like elixirs and any other fancy items we have after we save. This will save time with on the off chance I lose but think it's winnable. I can save beforehand and then we can come back and try again. Do I care about Rayquaza's 8 health? I kind of do. We have only 1 lemonade left anyways. That 8 health could matter. I don't know. Alright, before we use any elixirs, which we'll do for probably Dialga and Typhlosion, though it's unlikely to matter. Pokedex 28. Almost caught them all, guys. Almost. So the concern I have... I do have 2 elixirs. Cool. Is what I would give the Choice Band to. Or Choice Scarf, rather, for speed. The speed is nice, and making sure that we have priority would be handy. I just don't know who I want to lock into one move. Whoops, wrong button. Everybody does have one good move that we could lock them into, and it would be like, okay, fine. But let's take a look real quick, just to see what we're working with, to see if this is worthwhile. You can always undo the locked into one move thing by switching, so it's not like it's a death sentence, and once we lock in, we're done. It's just, when I look at the type coverage that each person has, I don't know what we can afford to lock into. Flamethrower is a solid choice, and we have 18 of them. But Typhlosion only has 99 defense and is not likely to be living through much. So it would get one off, wouldn't kill with it, and then it would die. We don't have any ribbons. Flash Cannon's not bad. And Dialga is a little bit more bulky and more likely to take a hit or two as it tries to fire off multiples, but it doesn't get super effective on virtually anything, just ice and rock. So that's not great. It might be Dialga, though. Magnitude is Russian roulette to the extreme, and it also blocks off one of our few ice coverages. Mist Wall only has 7 PP, although it's a solid choice. I don't even want anything here. Aerial Ace or Dragon Pulse, I want access to both. And this is not even worth our time. He's already decently fast. We have water coverage elsewhere with Surf, although it's unlikely to ever get off. I think it's happening. I think that's what we're doing, and we're going to lock it in. I just have to not forget that I'd done it after not having it this whole game. That would be a disaster. He's going to lose some steel damage from it, but I think the trade-off's going to be worth it, because Dialga has only mediocre speed, so trying to guarantee that it goes first would be helpful here. The twins are calling right now, because we have time for that. So we can walk all around here. Red is just staring off at the top of this cool-ass mountain into God knows what, thinking about God knows what. He's been here for who knows how many years, maybe as many as 3 since he won. And it's time to do this. At the 30-minute mark of this episode, the final episode, let's see how this goes. What am I leading with? I don't know what he has. We're actually going to lead with the Disaster, because he has Focus Sash and he can scout out our first opponent, and from there we'll have some switch information. Here we go. This is all he says, by the way. And yes, you get the champion music. He is the rightful champion. peeks his head up, and here we go. He's leading with his highest level. That should be Pikachu. And this is the worst fear now because that means that's 88. Now, the good news is nothing's higher than this. I know that for sure. But, yeah, the only thing that hits Drapion is ground. We don't have our ground type out right now, and I'm not switching in this fight unless I'm forced to. So, Dark Poison, Thunderbolt. We're probably dead. Our defense is not good. Even though Drapion's attack is not great, it's going to be enough for this with a 38 level advantage. So we're going to get a hit off here because of the Focus Sash. Maybe he'll hit the 10% paralysis chance. Oh yeah, and because it's the snow, we're going to die anyways. Right, I forgot. Well, that's okay. Alright, one of our two trump cards already forced into play here. I don't know if we outspeeded Drapion. Groudon's not slow, but he's not particularly fast either. We do not. I'm not worried about the ability, though. Attitude 7. My math on this was also a little off. Level 9 is not 100, it's 110, so it's still better than Earthquake. And level 8 is 90, which is pretty good. I'm a little disappointed that didn't kill. Is this going to? No. I don't know if Ash goes to items. Ash, God, what is wrong with me? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know how many he has. I'm not surprised that he used them. I was pretty sure he did, but... Hey, 8. This is the problem we're going to have in this fight. Even though we're a high level... Oh, a critical hit. Like, we're going to need these super effective hits just to be doing good damage. One-shotting is not really a part of the equation here. Alright, so we faded his highest level Pokemon. What else do we have here? Quillfish. Well... I think we have to go to Mewtwo here. Electabuzz is dead. Groudon's not terrible because Quillfish is water poison. I still think we need this Psychic attack, though. So this is going to hopefully be more in like the low to mid 80s range. I think we shouldn't have anything else that high to worry about. Okay, 80, yes. Is it possible for one Mist Ball to kill? Only 70 base power. Let's stab. Mewtwo's special attack is great, but it's down 10% because of the luck of the draw. Okay. Okay. Gonna be a level, too. Magic Coat. I can't. I don't know why that we would want to try and risk that right now. It would probably be better than like Ember, but I think we'll just go ahead and keep our options as wide as possible and not go too niche with that. Now, if I remember correctly, Red actually puts this Hail to his advantage. He's got like a Lapras that has Blizzard. I think his Blastoise knows Blizzard. Hell, somebody else on his team might too. I don't remember for sure. A Weedle. Alright, we're going to try and get Typhlosion some shine here. Level 84 Weedle. This is what we were hoping for, though. We wanted something like this that wasn't fully evolved. And it was a little dicey in the beginning with Drapion. Can we kill? I don't know if we can kill. Thank goodness. At first I was like, oh yeah, for sure, and then I look at that gap in the levels and I go, ah. Tentacool is the same situation as Groudon, so I guess we're going to play it the same way. Groudon. Quillfish, or Groudon could work. This is what happens when you try and record the final episode on 3 hours of sleep, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Okay. Don't know if we needed it, but that's 2 now. We needed the first one for sure. Now, we're in decent shape. We've gotten through the highest level one, but this is random, and we never know what we have left here. We got 2 more to fade, and they could be legendaries. They could be Weeping Bells. I'm just trying to protect Mewtwo, because that's the strongest Pokemon we have. This is a pretty favorable matchup. We have the flying advantage. Toxic Spikes are actually a little bit annoying. We are 1/4 damage from Grass. And this must be a crit. Really? Wow. I am surprised it did that much damage. Weeping Bell's not the full evolution here, but Rayquaza's not that strong. Well, I mean, let's do it over. What is this last Pokemon going to be? I feel like if we had a stronger alternative to answer Mewtwo, we would have seen it already. We would have switched in on it before. Red might have like 5 of these, by the way. That's why he's not being bashful about using them on Weeping Bell, even though it's not really doing much. Another one? No. I mean, this will do some damage, but it's nothing we can't handle. Never mind. I mean, I knew it was going to do damage. I thought we would live with like 10 or 15 HP. Incorrect. Alright, in comes the Dialga. Why? Because Toxic Spikes. Let's go ahead and put that Choice Scarf to use here. I think we would have outsped anyway. I don't know. I actually don't know Weeping Bell's base speed off the top of my head. Okay, moment of truth. Ekans. You know, I had a feeling it was going to be a poison type because we saw 2 other ones go into a Mewtwo, and if he had the option, I don't think he would have done it that way. You know what? Let's end this with Typhlosion if we can. That seems to be the most fitting way to me. Typhlosion's not the first Pokemon we had, but possibly the most important. This is slightly stronger than a Flamethrower. It's super effective, and it also has the possibility of lowering the defense, which would then guarantee the next one kills. It did not. And Ekans has Crabhammer. Is Typhlosion going to die in the final fight? Ah, Typhlosion. Who could have known? Who could have known? It's a water snake. Still, we're not worried now. This is over. It's pretty much just a matter of do I want to put in Mewtwo or not. You know what? Let's let Groudon get a little more time to shine. We barely used him after getting him. There's no water dual typing here to worry us. There is a water attack, but that's not going to kill Groudon in one hit. And he outsped, and Magnitude 7's like 70 power, so this is over. Well, as I said, I was a little concerned about Drapion, because if there was a bunch of other fully evolved Pokemon waiting, that could have been bad. But instead, ... exclamation point, double the money from Mewtwo. I don't know why Red's so paid, and then... ... fade to black, gone. The game automatically saves. The wind fades out and we get the credits again. I don't remember for sure, but I don't think you got the credits for beating Red in the original. Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like I remember beating him and then standing on top of the mountain going, yeah! And then like, oh, now what? So, these credits are the end of our playthrough. We have a couple minutes to talk about general thoughts, and if I'm being perfectly honest with you, this went a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought, this will be like 65 to 70 parts, and instead it was an additional 3 to 4 weeks more than that. I suppose I probably could have seen that coming a little bit better when you consider that it has all the extra gyms and you go through Kanto. Also, since there's better graphics and animations in this game, it takes a little longer than the original did to get through battles and whatnot. That was something I didn't really anticipate. So if I could take it back, would I? I mean, no. I still enjoyed this quite a bit. The random did make it pretty fun at times. But there's also something to be said for the balance of Pokemon. It's a feature that I don't think gets enough credit in general for the franchise. They plan these things out so well so that when you go through the game, if you fight a lot of extra Pokemon, maybe you get a little ahead of levels. And if you don't fight anything, you get under-leveled and have a bit of a challenge. But it's a really good range. It's linear, so they have real full control over it. I'm not saying it's like, whoa, so amazing. But still, when you randomize everything, then all of a sudden, all your hopes and dreams are thrown off. We had some fully evolved Pokemon early on, like Venusaur and Typhlosion. That made our life easier. I think through like the 3rd through 6th gyms, we weren't really challenged at all. But then we started to fall behind on levels, and it picked up considerably. And from there, I mean, there was a couple parts of Kanto since we did it a little backwards where we were about the right level, but otherwise, we were 10 to 15 levels behind pretty much the entire latter half of the game. And then by the time we got to Lance and Red, we were 20 to 30 levels behind. So even though their teams ended up being a little hit or miss, I don't feel bad because we had no way of knowing, and if they had been fully evolved, we would have died. I have very little doubt that if Red had had 3 or 4 of those Pokemon that were fully evolved, like 3rd stagers in the 80s, I don't know if we could have done it. It would have depended on what types they were and how they matched up with Mewtwo and Groudon, because otherwise, yeah. So that is the end of the randomized Pokemon HeartGold playthrough. The usual shilling comes at the end because I don't believe in doing it on all of our videos, but at the end of an 85-part series, I feel like I'm justified a little bit. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel if you enjoy the content we put out. We have another new series coming up soon now that this playthrough is done. We're also going to revert back to 1 video a day because the weekdays are just getting too crowded with 2 of them. Final Fantasy is also almost over, though, so we have a pretty clean slate coming. I think I had the next game in mind, but I'm not 100%, so I don't want to say anything until it's announced for sure, but you'll know what it is when Part 1 shows up and the title screen shows up. Anyways, as mentioned, subscribe if you hadn't. If you want to like the video as being emblematic of liking the series, that's cool. We usually ask for you to leave like a comment about what your favorite part was. Also, check out our website at thebuzzershow.com. There's a link in the description, but that's where all the other content goes down. Top 25 lists and a much more easy chronicling of what's happening with our videos, and also our weekly podcast, which is where everything started. And now we're up to like almost 230 episodes. And as always, we just end by saying thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.